everyone and welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to make a fabric bias. It's a very simple tutorial. All you just need to have is your bias tape maker, and you can actually purchase that. I think it's affordable, less than 4,000 naira. I think if you're in Nigeria, you can get it. If you are not in Nigeria, you can check these places, Amazon and AliExpress, to get yours. The bias tape maker actually comes in handy, especially if you want to make matching bias with the dress you are trying to make or sew. Like this dress I'm putting on, this is the bias that I made for it, and I used the bias to conceal the neckline to make the straps of the dress, and you can see how neat it is looking. I also used the bias to conceal the raw edge of the dress as well. It's a very simple tutorial. You actually need a bias tape maker in your sewing arsenal. And if you like this dress that I am putting on, don't worry, the tutorial is going to come in the next video. But first, let's go ahead and make our bias tape. And if you're not subscribed to our channel yet, please click the subscribe button, join the family, click the bell so you get updates when I post new videos. This is the fabric that we'll be using for this project, and I'm going to fold it diagonally like this. Folding it diagonally will give our fabric some stretch in order to make our bias tape more effective for whatever we want to use it for. So after folding, I'll be marking a 1 inch measurement from that folded edge from the top to the bottom. I'm marking 1 inch because I am making a half an inch bias tape. If I'm making a 1 inch bias tape, I should be marking 2 inches. So I've marked my 1 inch. I'll just go ahead and join the points all together to get a straight line. So here is our straight line that we marked from the fold. I've gone ahead to mark 1 inch measurements throughout the fabric. So what I'm doing now is joining them together. So between each lines here, I have my 1 inch measurements. I'll just go ahead and cut them into fabric strips, into 1 inch fabric strips. So after cutting, this is what I have. Can you see that? So this other piece that we have here, the one we cut on fold, I'll just go ahead and keep it aside. If I need more 1 inch fabric strips, I'll just go ahead and cut that into 2. So what I'm going to do now is trim off the edges so that they are straight like this. So what we're going to do next now is to place them on top of each other with right sides touching. So I needed to cut that so I can explain this part to you. You want to place them on top of each other with right sides touching, ensuring that they are edge to edge like this. And I'll just go ahead and pin them down. You can see how I'm pinning it down like this. And once that is done, I'll go ahead and stitch from this point all the way down, from this edge here all the way down, ensuring that I stitch at this edge here, at the fabric right there. So I'll just go ahead and stitch, and after stitching, this is what I have. This is my diagonal stitch. I'll go ahead and trim off the excess fabric. After trimming, I'll just go ahead and straighten out my fabric. So can you see? We now have a longer fabric strip. So that's why you need to sew diagonally, as I have explained. And what I'm going to do next is to open up the seam right here. And we'll need to press this down with an iron so that it can lay flat. That's what I'm going to do for the rest of the pieces. Join them together, press the seams open, and we're going to have a long fabric strip. So guys, this is the bias tape that I'll be using, the bias tape maker that I'll be using, and behind it is marked 12 millimeters, which is around 0.5 inches if you convert it. So what the bias tape will do is to fold the edges of this fabric like so. Can you see? To fold it like this, and that will give us a half an inch bias tape. So what I'm going to do now is insert the fabric into the bias tape maker like this. So I'll just go ahead and insert it. I inserted the pointed edge of the fabric. So if your fabric is pointed, it's going to be easy for you to pass the fabric through the bias tape. So as it is coming out like this, can you see that? As it's coming out like this, I'll just go ahead and press this down. So I'm just pulling the bias tape and pressing it down. but this method is very slow. It's going to be very slow for you. So I'm going to explain a faster method that you can use to make your bias tape in minutes. So can you see that our bias tape is forming already? So what I'm going to do is place my pressing iron like this. Ensure that I have some fabric coming out. I'm going to put my weight on the pressing iron like this. Can you see what I'm doing? And then I'll be pulling the fabric through the bias tape and the pressing iron at the same time. So my bias tape is folding the fabric, my pressing iron is flattening the fabric to form our bias tape. So this method is very simple and quick. You will make your bias tape within minutes, though you need to chill between pulling your fabric through the iron because the fabric can get quite hot. So you need to, pause and then repeat the same process all over again. But this method is actually very quick when it comes to making your bias tape. So I'll just go ahead and continue to do that till I'm done. And this is what I have. This is my long fabric bias that I just made. So if you have any creases on your bias tape, you can just go ahead and press that down. And that is it, guys. We're all done with our bias tape. So wherever you have creases, just go ahead and press it down so it can lay nice and flat. So how are we going to store this bias tape? So I have this chipboard right here. So what I'm going to do is wrap it all around the chipboard. You can use cardboard paper. This will, maintain the integrity of the bias tape so that the edges don't fray. So this is what I have after I've wrapped it around, like I said, to prevent the edges from fraying. I hope this tutorial was helpful to you, and now you can go ahead and make your own bias tape. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye.